Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Madison Paige and let's just jump into the video. So today's video is going to be a Q&A mukbang. This video is 2 years in the making. I sent out a call for questions 2 years ago and never ended up filming that video. So yeah, today I am going to be answering questions I was asked 2 years ago, as well as questions that I was asked more recently. I'm doing a mukbang as well because I want to. I thought it would be more interesting than just doing like a normal sit and talk to you guys thing. If you're wondering why I'm on my floor, I was trying to get a good shot of me and the food, but no matter how I do it, it's not working out, so I'm just on the floor. This is my first and probably only mukbang because I just spent a stupid amount of money. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it. Okay, so I've already decided that I'm going to start with the YouTube related questions first. A lot of the questions I got were like the same sort of stuff, so that's why I'm doing them first. To start off with, food-wise, I'm gonna eat, what did I get? A crispy chicken snack wrap, because it's staring at me and it wants me to eat it. Actually, I think I might do the fish fingers first. I'm gonna do the fish fingers first. Alright, Kelsey asked 2 years ago, who inspired you to do YouTube? I don't know, I don't feel like anybody really inspired me to do YouTube. It was an idea that I was playing around with for a long time anyway. I do remember I watched a lot of Jamie's World. She was someone that I was looking up to, just because like we're the same age and from the same town. She was having a lot of success on YouTube, so I looked up to her and I was like, huh, if she can do it, I can probably do it. We make very different content though. She's very funny, I'm very not. But yeah, Jamie, if I had to say someone, Jamie from Jamie's World is definitely someone who inspired me to do YouTube. What does YouTube mean to me? I'll have all the questions down here somewhere as well. YouTube for me is, I want to say a way to escape, but I have nothing to escape from. No, that's not true. I feel like in New Zealand everybody sort of has like this very chill and passive persona that they put out. It's a very New Zealand thing. I read an article, it was like an interview with, I forgot her name. I'll put her name down here because I cannot remember it right now. But she's a New Zealand actress who has been in Hollywood for a very long time, and she was saying how she also feels like New Zealand people, just in general, we're very quiet and very passive and very just chilled out, and that's kind of not who I am. I'm very much like a big, not a loud person, but a big personality sort of person, and I feel like with YouTube I'm allowed to be that. I feel like if I wasn't on YouTube I'd go crazy. Why did I start my YouTube channel? So this is a question I've gotten many times. Why did I start my channel? Are you leaving me? Oh, no. So I started my channel, well, I created my channel in 2015, but I didn't start uploading until 2016. If you guys know, my father passed away in January of 2016, and it was a struggle, and for a very long time I was very much in my own head. I struggled with mental health issues before that anyway, but the loss of someone that you love very dearly does fuck you up a little bit. I was having a very hard time, and I started making content on YouTube as a way for me to get out of that, I guess. To not be in my own head all of the time and to just have something to focus on, something to do, something fun that I enjoyed. So yeah, that's why I made it. What is your goal for YouTube in 5 years from now? I can tell you what Social Blade's goal for me in 5 years. They think it'll take me 5 years to get 1,000 subs. And it might, but I hope not. YouTube is my only job currently, hopefully not for long. And I was being monetized, but then they changed all the rules, and so while I wasn't making a whole bunch of money anyway, YouTube was my only source of money. So I hope it doesn't take me 5 years to get to 1,000 subs, and I really hope they don't change the rules again. But me personally in 5 years, well, first of all, I hope I'm still doing YouTube in 5 years. I've just taken like a whole year off of YouTube, and I really hope I don't do that again. In 5 years for my personal life, I hope that I've got some sort of family, whether that just be a husband or wife and a dog, or whether that be kids, I don't know. I'm 21 now, so in 5 years time I'll be 26. That's still pretty young, but I like the idea of starting a family kind of young. Not now. That's too young and for me personally. But 25, 26, 27 is when I sort of want to be starting a family, she says, while being very, very, very single. So in 5 years' time, personally, I want to have started a family, whatever that family may look like. I want to have my own place. And so with that personal success, I want to also have YouTube success. So in 5 years, I hope to have a substantial amount of subscribers. For me, substantial is like 10,000. Even though that's still small, I feel like it's a realistic goal. Actually, I wanna be at 10,000 in about 3 years. So 5 years, maybe 20,000. I don't know. I don't want to be too ambitious. But 5 years, I hope to have a substantial amount of followers, subscribers, followers. They're the same thing. I hope to be more consistent. While I've been pretty consistent lately with uploading videos, I am way off my uploading schedule most of the time. I still have my banner that says I post Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, and honestly, you'll be lucky if I post on those days. I'm filming this on a Saturday. It should be going up today, not being filmed today. So yeah, I hope to be a bit more consistent with my videos, and I hope to have definitely found a niche. I'm sort of starting to find a niche now with like my social media videos and then my personal sort of videos. I do want to get a little bit more personal on my channel. I want to have the same sort of effect that Madison Paige does on her channel. She posts a lot of videos about mental health and LGBT, and her videos really help and inspire people, and I want to have the same effect. In 5 years, I want to be Madison Paige. No. I got the page part down. But yeah, in 5 years, I want to be better, and I know that I can be. Who are your biggest YouTube inspirations right now? I guess that's what she means. I have no idea who asked this question. I appear to have cropped out the name. I think this was Gabrielle, maybe. I like Superwoman. I like her attitude. I like her work ethic when it comes to her channel and her just general business. I like Liza at the moment, how she's branching out of YouTube and making a career out of what started off as just like Vine and YouTube. I like that. So I think my inspirations at the moment are women, YouTube women who are making YouTube videos into like a real business, you know? So people like Superwoman and like Liza Koshy and that sort of stuff. Cause, oh, no, I'm too tall. Ugh. Never said that sentence before in my life. Yeah, while YouTube starts off as a hobby, it can be made into a business, and I really like that. I really like people who can see that and are doing that. How do I stay motivated? Oh, how did you stay motivated while making YouTube videos? I didn't. Obviously, I just came back from taking a year off of YouTube. For that entire first year, I was pretty motivated. No idea how I stayed so motivated. I guess again, that was the year my dad died, so I was really just looking for something to keep me focused, something for me to do. And then I had like a lot of fun, unique ideas. Like I made a tweet the other day, talking about how a lot of the new trends now is stuff that I did 2 years ago. Like the full face of makeup using art supplies. I did that 2 years ago, and it wasn't cool then, it was just weird, but now it's cool. But yeah, last year I was very much not motivated. I took the year off of making videos, and that wasn't planned. I had every intention of continuing doing YouTube videos, but when I moved out and when I got my own place and when I had to start focusing on other things, I kind of just didn't want to make videos. And then when I did, I was living in a house with no Wi-Fi. As for how I'm staying motivated right now, I guess since starting back up again, and again, it gives me something to do, which I like, and since I have started to grow again, I feel like I have a duty to the people who watch me to put out good content, and so what keeps me motivated is you guys watching, I guess. Aww. Do you think you're gonna make it with YouTube? I hope so. I guess that's everyone's hope. When they start YouTube, they do hope that they're gonna make it big and make a difference. So yeah, I really hope so. No one can say for sure if I'm going to. I can't predict the future, but I guess just hoping answers that question. Okay, so it looks like those are all of my YouTube related questions. Before we move on, because you can't see the food, I'll tell you what I got. I got 1 3-pack of fish fingers, 1 McChicken combo, 1 10-pack of chicken bites, 1 crispy snack wrap, 3 hash browns, 1 Angus Clubhouse customized, 1 1 loaded Angus customized, 1 hot fudge hot cakes, and 1 strawberry milkshake. Okay, so moving on. Some weird questions, some personal questions. What's my favourite TV show? Favourite TV show always is Grey's Anatomy. I'm enjoying The Good Doctor. I've just got back into Chicago Med. Do you see a theme here? Girl Meets World is another one of my all-time favourite shows. The Fosters, which just finished, sadly. And yes, I will be watching Good Trouble, even though I think the name is stupid. What's my favourite hobby? Making YouTube videos, singing. I like making art, painting mostly, and doodling. I also do tarot readings. I consider just a hobby because I don't do it as a job. I do it for fun mostly, on full moons or when I just want to do a reading. Do I have any Netflix or music recommendations? Netflix recommendations, no, because I don't watch a lot of Netflix. Pay no attention to the lies they try to feed ya. Music recommendations. Todrick Hall's new album, Forbidden. I listen to the songs, on repeat. The Dear Evan Hansen soundtrack is another one I've been listening to a lot lately. B. Miller's album, Aurora. Can't believe it's taken me this long to mention B. Miller. So yeah, for albums, Todrick Hall, Dear Evan Hansen, and B. Miller. Those are some of my favourites, and some that y'all should definitely check out. If you could have a conversation with your past self or future self, what would you choose? I would choose my past self. Hold for plane. I would choose my past self because I've been through some shit, and I would just tell her that I would warn her first. I wouldn't tell her exactly what happens because I don't want to change it, but I would warn her that she's going to go through some stuff, and then I would tell her, I'd be really cliche and tell her that it gets better. No, I'm getting emotional in another video. Have you ever been in love? Yeah, I have felt love 4 times, but I've only been in love twice. The first time was with a guy. Let's call him Chad. We weren't together for very long. It was one of those weird relationships, the really fast whirlwind ones, where you feel everything all at once. Okay, my head's just gonna be cut out because I can't feel my feet. It was actually really quite toxic, looking back on it. He was kind of a dick. He taught me to never date younger guys though, so that's something. And then the second time was with a guy who we will call Charles, and he was my best friend. We were best friends for about 5 years before we actually got together. Loved him quite a bit. We didn't break up due to lack of love. We broke up because he had some mental health issues and I had some mental health issues, and our mental health issues did not like each other. For the sake of keeping our sanity, I guess, we came to what I thought was a mutual decision. I've been hearing now that he doesn't seem to think that, so what's the most embarrassing thing that has happened to you? I'm actually going to be talking about my most embarrassing moment in a story time, so I will not be answering this question now, but if you want to hear the answer of this question, stay tuned for my next normal video that's not social media or trend themed, because that will be a story time on this exact moment. What's your favourite type of tree? It's such a weird question, but I actually have an answer. My favourite kind of tree is a weeping willow. How many movies do you watch in a month? I'm really picky with movies, so I don't actually watch that many, but if it's a good month of movies, then I'll watch maybe 3 to 5 in a month. When was a time you felt most alive? I like flying, so times like when I was on the sky swing, which there is footage of, but if that footage is ever shown to anyone, I might die of embarrassment. Or we had this thing on one of my camps, which was I think it was literally just called the swoop, and you're raised to the roof and then let go and you just... Those times I feel really great. I actually did the swoop twice to prove a point to someone. We were having an argument over, because we were the 2 smallest people in the class, and we were having an argument over which one of us flew higher, and so I did the swoop again to prove that it was me. But yeah, it's times like that that I feel most alive. Have you ever been punched in the face? No, but I was weird and started a rumour that I was once because I felt like it was more interesting than I get bleeding noses when I'm too hot. I got a bleeding nose in school once because I was too hot, and then I told someone that I was punched in the face, and then that spread around the school. I can't answer for past Maddie. She was a bit strange. Do you bunch your toilet paper or fold it? I fold it over my hand and when I take it off my hand, I bunch it. If you could travel anywhere in the world, what would your #1 destination be? I want to go to Greece and New York. I want to go there. Do you consider queer a slur? I think it depends on the way it's said. Tone of voice can change everything, and context can change everything. If the person saying queer happens to be homophobic, then yes. If it's like myself, I often describe myself as queer, then no. What's my favourite food? McDonald's. No, it's not. Steak. I get steak all of the time. Medium rare. And mac and cheese. What's your greatest regret in life? Okay, so I've been stressing about this question. I don't often regret things. I don't often regret at all. But I don't often regret like things or situations. I regret how I react to them. So as of now, my greatest regret is a few years ago I dated this guy. He asked me out and I said yes, and I almost immediately knew that I was not into it. However, instead of breaking up with him, I thought it would be better to treat him like shit. I went through phases of kind of liking him because he gave me attention, and then just being a bitch to him. I remember there was a time when I pretty much told him that I was going to cheat on him. I hate cheating, and I doubt I would actually have cheated on him, but I kind of said it. I don't know if I was trying to make him break up with me or what, but it was just horrible, and I feel bad every time I think about it. I don't actually remember how it ended. I don't know if he did break up with me in the end, or if I fucking grew up here and broke up with him. I don't know, but that's something that I have regretted. I don't know why I couldn't have just just said, hey, actually, I'm not into it. Sorry for wasting your time. That's not true, I know why. The last time someone asked me out and I said yes and then wasn't into it, I did break up with them immediately. And then fast forward a few months, they assaulted me. That's probably subconsciously why I didn't do it this time. I wish I'd taken that risk. He was a sweetheart, so I doubt he would have done the same thing. I was just a dick. I don't know if he watches my videos. I don't know if he does, if he caught on that I'm talking about him. But if you do, I'm really sorry. And I'm just a horrible person. I also regret things that I haven't done, which I think most people do. But my two biggest regrets for things that I didn't do but wish I did were, last year I surprised my mum for Mother's Day. I was living in Wellington and I organised this whole big surprise. I bought my own bus ticket, organised a place to stay, got everything sorted, and the surprise went off perfectly. She loved it, she cried. My biggest regret is that I did not film it. I really wish I'd filmed it. I think that would be really cool to have on video, but I didn't film it for God knows what reason. So I regret not filming it. And the second thing I regret is not trying on wedding dresses when my dad was alive. I actually didn't think about it until after he was already dead. He's never gonna get to see me in a wedding dress or get to walk me down the aisle or anything like that. So I really wish that I'd tried on wedding dresses when he was alive so he could at least once see me in a wedding dress. Who's your coolest friend whose name begins with K? I was gonna make this joke and say it was Kermit the Frog and like we're on a first name basis, but one, I feel like I would be the only person that found that funny. And two, I actually do want to take this moment to thank her. So my coolest friend whose name starts with a K is Kirsty. She was like my rock last year, if I'm gonna be honest. It was my first time away from home, first time living on my own, first time functioning like an actual adult human. And I mean, I guess like anybody it's their first time doing that, I struggled like a lot, and she was always... Hello?
Have you eaten anything?
Yeah.
So you have to try and sit there and eat it all and talk.
Yeah, that's why I haven't eaten a lot, because you taught me not to talk with my mouth full. So I'm talking and not eating. I've not taken up smoking again, by the way. I'm helping my mother quit by holding on to her smokes. What was I saying? Oh yeah, Kirsty. Kirsty was just always there. She says herself that she's not like great with like emotions or whatever, but she always seemed to know when like I was on the tipping point of mine, and she was really good at just diffusing the situation or helping to calm me down, and I've always been really grateful for that. Also, on my lazy days, she'd take my credit card and buy me food. What makes you want to watch a TV show? Okay, so usually what happens, I will find out about a show either because my favourite somebody, so like my favourite actor or my favourite writer is in it or has created it, and then I will watch the trailer, and then if the trailer looks good, then I will give the pilot episode a go. And then what keeps me watching shows is if the writing and plot is good, if the acting is good. If the writing's really good and the acting is shit, I cannot deal. Yeah, but if the writing's good and the acting is good, then I will continue watching it. And also if the production value is good, if it looks good as well, then I'm into it. But yeah, it starts with who is in it, and then the trailer, and then even if I like who's in it, even if I like the trailer, the episode itself still has to hold its own. Favourite gay movie? My favourite LGBT movie is Pride. That was actually one of the first LGBT movies that I've ever watched, and it's really stuck with me and I really enjoy it. This is like a failed mukbang. I'm hardly eating anything. That is the best thing I've eaten all day. That is my customised Angus Clubhouse. Pride, because it was one of my first LGBT movies since coming out, and I just really enjoyed it. Other favourite kind of LGBT movie, I don't know if it's classed as an LGBT movie or not. I like But I'm a Cheerleader as well. But I have this weird obsession with Debs, that movie with the teen girls who are spies or whatever, and then one of them falls in love with the villain who is also a female. I don't know, I've had a weird obsession with it since I was a kid. Any chronic illnesses, and what are they? Surprisingly, no. I don't have any chronic illnesses. Muscle problems, bone problems, lung problems, mental problems. Chronic illnesses? Nah. What was the hardest thing you faced after your assault, and what advice would you give any victims? First off, don't call yourself victims. I personally prefer the term survivor. That sounds so fucking cheesy. The hardest thing is people not believing me. It took me 2 years to talk about what happened, but what I didn't tell anybody was that I had tried to talk about it earlier, but no one believed me. And I had a friend, we were kind of friends, but she was dating him and she made it her life's mission to discredit me against anything I ever said. She'd make jokes about it and she'd laugh with people, and then there's just the people that like hated me for the sake of hating me, who like took her side, and they just started this whole campaign to try and make me out to be a liar. So that was definitely the hardest thing. Something that I still kind of struggle with is the fact that I live in a small town, and while it hasn't happened yet, the chance of running into him anywhere is really high. So that's something I'm always quite worried about. Other advice that I would give to survivors, I have no idea, because I'm still trying to work shit out myself. What was the worst day of your life and the best day of your life? So I can answer the worst day of my life. I can tell you the date and the general time. January 30th, 2016. Sometime around 3 to 4 in the afternoon. My dad died of cancer. I think he was diagnosed in the same year that I was assaulted, so when I was 16. Maybe even 15, I don't know. But I'd gone away and come back a couple times, but the week that he died, he'd just been to the oncologist, I think, and they had given him 3 to 6 months. We went on a family vacation, kind of. I mean, I guess it's counted as a family vacation, but we just went to Taupo, which is like another small town, with like a little bit more to do than there is here. And yeah, we were there for 3 days. And on the day that we were due to leave, my dad would not wake up. And so my stepmom called an ambulance, and they took him to the hospital, and we were told that while he'd been dying for a while, he was actively dying now. So this was January 29th, and so we made arrangements to be taken back to Hawke's Bay. Dad would be taken back in an ambulance. I was in the ambulance with him. My stepmom, my grandparents drove up to, come see what was happening. And so they were just going to drive back. My stepmom, her brother lived in Taupo. Lived in Taupo. And he was going to drive her back with the kids. Maybe the kids went with my grandparents. The specifics of that doesn't really matter. And when we got back to Hawke's Bay, we went straight to the hospice. Unbeknownst to me, my stepmom had actually called my mum and told her that I was in the ambulance with Dad and we were on our way. And my mum used basic maths to figure out when we'd be there. So she was at the hospice when we got there. And because we'd left earlier than everyone else, I was there first and we were there for a while. And so I'm still really grateful that my stepmom called my mum, because I didn't want to be there alone. And my mum is my everything. So that was January 29th. We got back to Hawke's Bay. He was in the hospice. And then I was there all day the next day. People were coming in and out. Me and Alana, who's my stepmom, were pretty much there the whole time. But yeah, I was there pretty much all day. Crying on and off, sometimes just sitting there, sometimes just, I remember one moment when, I don't know who it was, but someone, I don't think they told me to stop crying, but just sort of told me to be brave or whatever. And I don't know if I actually snapped at them out loud, but I definitely snapped at them in my head no, I will not. My father is literally dying. I will not. It got to late afternoon, this is something that I always think about. So my dad died when it was just myself and my mum in the room. Literally half a second before my stepmom and my grandmother walked in. And it's always been really, a really strange coincidence to me that he died. Okay, so my dad had me on the weekends, and he had a system that he would pick me up on Fridays after work and then drop me home on Sunday around 4 o'clock. And it's always been a really strange coincidence to me that he died around 4 o'clock when my mother was there comforting me. She'd literally just gotten there a few minutes before, and I always found that to be a really strange coincidence. But yeah, it was God. My dad had this friend, and he's a lovely man, but he's just a bit on the strange side. I didn't really want to be alone with him. He came to visit Dad, and I didn't really want to be alone with him when my stepmom was out. I think she'd just gone for a walk, and I didn't want to be alone with him, so I texted Mum can you come sit with me? I don't want to be alone, And so she got there, and we were just sitting there, and it was a couple minutes after she'd gotten in. She was like, has your dad been breathing like that all day? And so I had a look, and his breaths were really shallow and really far apart. And I was like, no. And so we just sort of sat in silence and kept watching him. At some point his friend had left. And people were still sort of like coming and going. And his breaths were getting more far apart and more shallow. And then, yeah, he took a breath and I was waiting for him to take his next one. And I was waiting and I was waiting. And I remember hearing myself just going, breathe, breathe. It wasn't coming. And then my nana walked in and she saw us staring at him, and then she could hear me saying, breathe. Please breathe. Holy shit. And so she went over to him and she took his pulse. And her face went white. And then my stepmom walked in and went straight over to him because she could see my nana. And she felt his pulse. And then she immediately started pressing the emergency button. And a nurse came in and she felt his pulse. And then she just kind of nodded. Okay, so I just want to chuck a disclaimer in here really quick. I have no idea if my dad died when it was just myself and my mum in the room. I know that he took his last breath while it was just myself and my mum in the room. But like I said, his breaths were really far apart. So I don't know if he died like then, or if he died when my nana came in the room or when the nurse came in the room. I don't know that for sure. He wasn't hooked up to any monitors or anything. So yeah, I just wanted to say that because I know that there are some members of my family who are still upset at the fact that they might have just missed him. I don't know if they actually watch my videos, but if they do, I just wanted to put that in there just in case. Yeah. And my entire world stopped. Or at least that's what it felt like. It was like, I'm a film student, so I can describe it in like a film. I'm not a film student, I've graduated. I'm a filmmaker. I can describe it like a scene, because that's kind of how I see it in my head. Because I swear to God, I'm pretty sure I left my body, and like I remember, I can see it, like I was watching it. But it felt like the entire world just stopped moving. But it also didn't. It was like, it's like it stopped. But then it was also like I was in slow motion, and then everything else was just like normal. And like, I couldn't hear anything, like everything sounded really, really far away. But I do remember I was screaming, or at least that's how I remember it, as me screaming. My mum said that I was wailing, and I feel bad because I honestly don't remember what anybody else was doing or how anybody else was feeling. I'm so grateful that my mum was there, because I don't think my stepmom or my grandma or my nana would have been able to comfort me in that moment, because of how they were feeling. Like, that was my stepmom's husband and my nana's son. Like, they had their own shit going on, so I'm so grateful that my mum was there. And I remember the second the nurse nodded, my mum was already holding me, like I was sitting on her lap, but the second the nurse nodded, my mum just sort of like grabbed me into like a really tight grip, which didn't do a damn thing because I still fell to the floor anyway. But she was right there, and she was just holding me while I screamed. And then, because I'm not great with emotion, I just sort of stopped everything and got up and was just like, I have to leave. I have to go right now. But she stopped me and she's just like, you have to say goodbye or you will never forgive yourself. So the room cleared out. And I went over and I gave him a hug and I gave him a kiss and I said a bunch of stuff I don't remember, and then I forced myself to say the words. I'm suddenly not hungry anymore. I forced myself to say the words, goodbye, Daddy. And then I left. But yeah, that was the worst day of my life. As for the best day, that's a lot harder to determine. I think it's actually like scientifically proven that our mind remembers bad shit better than it does good shit. I tend to have good moments rather than full good days. So I don't know what the best day of my life was. January 28th, 2016 was pretty fun. We didn't know Dad was on his way out then, so that explains some of his behaviour a little bit more. Yeah, we went prawn fishing. My dad helped himself to an ice block behind the counter. Nobody caught a damn thing. But yeah, and then my dad fell in the water, and that was pretty funny. It was funnier when he didn't believe us that he fell in the water. Again, we didn't know he was on his way out. It was funny at the time and it's still funny now, but yeah. And then we went home for a little bit, watched some Steven Universe. I remember that specifically because that was the first cartoon Dad had laughed at in ages. He thought all the cartoons were kind of dumb. But Steven Universe he was actually laughing at. And then we went to the beach and he got stuck. And then we went to dinner, which was kind of gross actually, but the dinner. But I ended up having to order like 5 milkshakes because Dad kept drinking mine. But yeah, that was a pretty good day. And it's nice that there was like a funny, like nice day before a really shitty day. So yeah, that was my mukbang Q&A. Thank you everyone so much who asked questions. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. I can't believe I got emotional 2 weeks in a row. Comment down below something. I don't know. Just leave a comment. If you're not already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Tap the bell notification thingy to be notified every time I post. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.